Welcome into the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, listening on Hockey TV as well as the audio-only YouTube live feed. I will just kind of preface this. The puck drop might be sooner than 7:05 p.m. That is what it was scheduled for yesterday. I know it started shortly around 7 o'clock, just a few minutes before. The Jacks are on the ice at their respective bench. Off to your left side on Hockey TV. Again, the Hockey TV camera is on the opposite end of the ice from the broadcast booth here at the Amarillo Civic Center. So I will do my best to make sure my message correlates well with the viewing audience across the Hockey TV spectrum. Of course, audio only on YouTube Live on the Odessa Jackalopes channel. The starting lineup for the visiting Odessa Jackalopes, who took a comeback win against the Wranglers yesterday in OT, as J.R. Purdy ended things 38 seconds into the 3-on-3 extra period, and the three skaters that were on the ice for the Jacks never came off the ice during that overtime period. So going into game number 2 this evening, Nick Ahern, Dane Hoyard, and Mike Manzo will start things off offensively. On defense, it will be Frank DeVorney and his defensive partner Charlie Bankier. In between the pipes for his first start since December 4th against the El Paso Rhinos, where he had a career-high 46-save night and only allowed one goal in the victory, is Noah Ruprecht. He comes in from Thief River Falls, Minnesota, and of course came in to replace that injured Alex Proctor towards the back half of the second period. In yesterday's contest, I was told Proctor was just having cramps in the leg area, and he is padded up and geared up to back up Noah Ruprecht. He is in the same spot he was at when the game ended yesterday, just off to the side where the Jacks take the ice, where that red carpet is laying out right now. The Wranglers are coming out from the opposite side, as all but their starting 6 guys await to be announced from their PA announcer here at the Amarillo Civic Center. They will start with forwards of Ben Oakland, Logan Cleary, and Dominic Shimizi. Cleary and Shimizi both registering a goal, 2 of the 4 for the Wranglers yesterday. Michael Spinner, the captain for the Wranglers on defense, the left side, and Drayton Todorov on the right side. In between the pipes will be Max Guchar. Once again, he's trying to help his team get out of a 5-game losing skid. Right now they're 0-3, 1-1 in their last 5 games. And yesterday marked the first time that the Wranglers lost in the 3-on-3 overtime hockey. They are now 2-1. The Jacks are 5-1 in the overtime span. Odessa now holds sole possession of second place with 40 points and a 19-10 1-1 record. They are 6-3-1 in their last 10 games and are currently on a 2-game win streak and a 9-5 on the road. As for the Wranglers, they are 3-5 1-1 in their last 10 games, certainly in a slump right now. 38 points for them. They are 18-10 1-1, and they are 7-2 1-1 as the home team. The Jacks are now 13-4 when scoring the game's first goal after they capitalized on it thanks to Ryan Kusler yesterday. He was the lone goal scorer in that first period. The loss yesterday for the Wranglers also marked the first time they lost when leading after 2 periods of play. They were up 2-1 to start the final period. They have a record of 15-0-1 now when leading after 40 minutes of play. So that is a storyline in and of itself. Quickly mention James Berg not with the team here for game number 2. And replacing him on that extra forward spot will be Brendan Finn as Necker slides over to complete the last defensive unit. 3 units for them, 4 defensive units for the Wranglers, as they will only have 3 full offensive pairs. And their 4th line on offense will not have Chungchukov. It will just be Nicholas Campbell and Evan Burkle. The Wranglers just held a moment of silence for Jim Taylor across the Amarillo Civic Center. We, of course, also mourn the loss of a 15-year-old, a 10th grader, playing hockey in high school out in Connecticut. And I'm not sure if anybody across the board is active on social media or keeps up with news outside the NHL or NHL, but a player had his neck kind of cut pretty bad, to say the least, by an opponent. An incidental collision unfortunately led to the passing of Teddy. So sticks out for Teddy across the board. A few seasons ago, the likes of the Humboldt Broncos horrific Bucks incident from Saskatchewan carried big waves across the hockey world. We just had the national anthem sung here at the Amarillo Civic Center. And it's great to see some Jackalopes fans in attendance here for game number 2, sitting directly behind the Jacks bench. The Jacks led yesterday twice. Once when the score was 1-0. Second and only other time was when the game ended 5-4. There was multiple comebacks by them, but then answered very quickly by the Wranglers to put themselves up by a goal, or not even more, by a pair in some situations. But even with a few top players out for the Jacks, the next man up mentality really sank in across all levels, offense and defensively. And they were getting scoring from the likes of Ryan Kusler, who notched his first career multi-goal game. Ryan Kelly got on the board, as did Dane Hoyard, as he is second in goals on the Jacks squad with 11. Again, Jacks going left to right from your vantage point on Hockey TV. Wranglers going right to left, and one back for the opening draw here in game number 2 by Hoyard. It's fired off the end wall to Devorny, and he'll lace it across to the near side. As coming away with it is Manzo. He'll knife it forward into the corner for Hoyard as they fight ferociously below the goal line. And it's played out and right onto the stick of Oakland. Devorny with it. They collide with Oakland. And settling it down is Charlie Bankier. Played far side for Devorny. Now he stretches it across for Manzo, who had trouble getting around the opposition, and sending it off the boards was Carney. Broken up right in front of the enemy's bench by Orr. Duclair with it from the circle. Gets a pass out in front. Stick designed by Guchar. Batted off the outside of the net as Christian's shot will tip over to the near side boards. It's recovered by Carney. As the Wranglers clear their zone. Chasing after it is the assistant captain, Prohorenkovs. He gets sent to the ice. A big hit down low. Warren Prohorenkovs right back after it in the corner. Prohorenkovs with the puck. They come away with it, and a shot finds the boards on the far side off the stick of number 15, Christoph Skratstens, who had a goal in yesterday's game. 11 power play goals for him, a league high. Also leads the team in goals and points as well. As that one will go for icing against Odessa, as we have 18:24 left to go here in a scoreless first period. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Hockey TV or on our audio-only YouTube live channel. I know the Dallas Cowboys are going up against my Philadelphia Eagles. I am from just outside the Philadelphia region, but both teams have a playoff guaranteed spot already. But I will try to make sure I update everybody on the score if you're not already tuned in with another monitor at home. As Tallinn will patiently wait behind Noah Ruprecht. Again, his first start since December 4th against the Rhinos. He had a career-high 46 save night. That's good. We'll softly play it towards Guchar as he sets it up for Kyle DeMarco. 4 defensive unit pairs and a breakup and a kick save by Guchar. Knifed loose by Yates. Recovered by Hughes, and he couldn't get a pass over to Good as it's played back up to the blue line and out by Amarillo. Amarillo is tied for the fewest goals allowed in the South with 79 and second fewest in the league. Only one other team has 78. And they're tied with New Mexico from the South. Clearing on the near side circle and a big save in and out of the chest of Ruprecht. Hughes comes away with it. Jack's having trouble clearing. Devorny with it along the boards on the right wing side. He flips it cross ice to Mansfield. One side are the Jacks. 17-10 left to go here in period number 1. 0-0 to score. Shots are tied apiece at 2. Shemizzi with it. Near side. He'll leave it back for Cleary. From the dot. Shoots. Saved by Ruprecht. Collected by Odessa. And they had a little miscommunication amongst them on who was going to bring it out, or maybe if possibly Ruprecht was going to pounce back on it to get the whistle, as there is 3:15 gone here in the opening frame. Sent off the stick of Evan Burkle from Battle Creek, Michigan, and it will go from zone to zone. Chasing after it now is Drayton Todorov. Him and Proctor had an interesting altercation, or I guess exchange of words at the end of warm-ups. I'll briefly talk about this while the Jacks patiently wait behind Noah Ruprecht to attempt to clear their zone. In yesterday's Game 1 at the end of warm-ups, Proctor and Devorny are typically always the last men off the ice, especially on home ice. And sometimes it could be a superstition thing or just their normal routine. But on the road, it's much different, and usually you kind of give way to the home team. As it's picked off by Ahern from the slot, and his shot will whistle wide of Guchar. We're unable to keep it alive. He'll drape it back to the defense as he gets a pass quickly back from Jack Christian. But going back to my brief story, right after Devorny and Proctor exited to their tunnel as icing is called against Odessa, there was a shot fired from where Guchar guards the first and third periods from his net. A shot by a Wrangler player, I forget the number on the jersey, but fired it right into the empty Jackalopes net, about 200 feet the other way. This time, however, the Jacks taking a little bit longer to get off the ice. The official that was out there, as there's always one for warm-ups, blew the whistle once or twice to Devorny and Proctor, and then as they were exiting to the tunnel, Todorov flipped the puck right at Proctor, and a little bit more of a lengthy wait by both teams to clear it, or to at least clear the sheet of ice so we can get resurfaced for the start of the game. As Ruprecht made a big save earlier on, so look out for number 18 as well as number 22, as they were the two Wranglers players that were kind of having words with the official as well as Devorny and Proctor. Again, Proctor backing up Noah Ruprecht. It's the first time in 7 games that Proctor is not between the pipes to start, as Necker will softly play that one over to awaiting Trevor Tallene as he plays it out to the near side boards. Through the red stripe with a high-rising shot and a follow-through was J.R. Perdian. That one just stayed wide. 14:35 left to go here in the opening period. 0-0 is the score. Shots in favor of the Wranglers, 5-2. As the bouncing rubber is settled down by Devorny. Sent across and quickly played forward to Duclair. On one side are the Jacks. They leave it at the half wall on the near side. It's retrieved by Porhorinkovs and played to the near side for Carollo. Chasing after its bank here. He's able to angle his body and the puck away from Porhorinkovs. And it's kicked back to the Wranglers' defense as now they look to enter enemy territory. It caroms off a stanchion and is retrieved by Bankier. He'll flip it off the boards and out. And racing after it are the Jacks. They feed it to Good, and he unfortunately was handcuffed on a shot from the far circle. Back to the blue line. Or with a blast, and it ricochets over to the near side wall. It redirects high, but remains in play. As trying to dislodge it from the wall were 2 Jacks players. They are able to brush it back to Orr, who will wait from his own zone, and tipping it at the red line was Good as he heads right to the bench to send on Mansfield. Near side Wranglers with it. 2 failed zone entry attempts as the Jacks will possess it behind Ruprecht with 13:10 left to go here in period number 1. Odessa with it. Near side circle. Dangerously played back in front by Amarillo, and Tallene will be able to get to it first from his own zone. He plays it to the far side where waiting is Orr, as changes are coming on the fly for the Jacks. Again, they are in second place, 2 points behind New Mexico, who beat the Corpus Christi Ice Rays last night. Wichita Falls beat Shreveport, and Lone Star beat El Paso. And that is why the Brahmas and Wranglers are right now tied for third place. Depending on the outcome of this game, of course, we don't want it to happen, but there is a chance there could be a 3-way tie for second in the South Division as the Wranglers go in offside. Depending on how Lone Star does against El Paso, and of course the outcome of this game here that you are viewing on Hockey TV or listening to on the Jacks YouTube channel. 12:29 left to go here in period number 1. Still a scoreless hockey game. Neutral zone draw. Further start from the Jacks bench. One back. Tallene trying a pass forward. Icing is waved off. Recovered by Odessa. Intercepted by Ahern. He finesses his way around Campbell, and they fire one just wide of Gucharin into the corner. Ahern dangerously walking the blue line, and he's muscled off the puck, but coming to help him out was Tallene. It caroms back for Necker to play with it towards the right of Ruprecht. And coming away with it and exiting his own zone is Dane Hoyer. Tries to weave his way through the slot. It's broken up. And attempted to pass across, intercepted by the Wranglers as they have it along the near side corner. With it is Campbell from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Exiting the zone on the near side is Carney. He'll dump it into the boards as it's now retrieved by Bankier. Him and Strastins jostle for it. It will kick off the end wall and be sent over to the far side. Great sidestep started move by Ahern, who still looks for some open ice to feed the frozen rubber. And a long stretch pass to the far side for Devorny. He gets some air underneath of it and sails it up and over Guchar. Quick changes coming for the Jacks as they apply some forechecking pressure down low. Jacks have it from the circle and a shot at a stick in front. Duclair will retrieve it. He had fakes. Throws it back up top for Christian. Now to the circle. And they just miss a pass back to Duclair. And sending it deep this time were the Wranglers. As they head off for a quick change. They had some tired legs out there. Finn with it. He'll fire it deep and turn the other way for a quick change. This time for Odessa. 10:35 left to go here in period number 1. The Jacks dig it out. They send it up top to Tallene. Tallene with it. Tries to send it down low. It will carry him over to the boards on the near side. Orr stepping up on the play to send Michael Spinner down. And Orr once again, now he attacks Ben Oakland. Jacks come away with it. Shot hit a body in front. Oakland with it along the near side. And a stretch across, or pass across, broken up by Tallene twice, in matter of fact. And from the goal line, goes well wide of Ruprecht. It's slapped deep, and Cleary's muscled off the puck from Tallene. Over halfway gone here in the opening period of 3. As the puck is held right in front of Odessa's bench. Sent along the yellow trim to the near side wall. After it is Shimizi. Stripping the puck as the Jacks are able to airmail it back out to center ice. They are offside. Good unaware of that as Yates was a few strides ahead of him. And we'll have a halt to play with 9:37 left to go here in the first. Looks like we'll be going to media timeout as well here from the Amarillo Civic Center. Jackalope 0, Wranglers 0 here in game number 2. Again, Rupper replaced Proctor in the second period just past the halfway point of yesterday's game. Both, however, finished the game with 24 saves. Proctor allowed 1 goal, but of course that 1 goal that went against him, he ended up getting hurt on, or at least cramping up on, and was unable to finish the game. So the goal that would tie things up, and it was their first goal, was by TJ Kufis, who could not have had a more wide open net on that delayed penalty that was going to go against Proctor. Of course, he would not have served it, as goalies do not. But he went down as a 2-minute minor for tripping. Ruprecht, however, does get his first point of the season with an assist as it ricocheted off of him in overtime right over to J.R. Pernian, who picked it up and scored the game-winning goal 38 seconds into OT. Kusler's multi-goal game is first of his NAHL career. He scored the 100th goal for the Jacks this season. As they fire one, it's a big pillow save from Guchar. It's played out by the Wranglers, and a delayed call now that the Jacks touch it up against Odessa. Cross-checking is going to be assessed. It looks like to Ryan Kusler. But the Jacks become the fastest team to 100 goals. They did it in 31 games. The record was 33 games back in 2017-2018. So 2-minute minor. The Wranglers went 1 for 3 on the man advantage yesterday. Again, they scored their only power play goal with 1.5 seconds left in the second period. That was from Scrastins. They actually say checking from behind. From the circle, a shot and a big save by Ruprecht. Thinking the puck was loose, but was Carney. But the whistle was there to help out Ruprecht. And the Wranglers will have another offensive zone draw. And it's a Kenner printing penalty kill for the Jacks, their first here this evening. Again, Scrastins out there leads the league in power play goals with 11. Had one yesterday. Wranglers win it. They send it to the point. Now to the circle. Rinkov scores. A blast from just above the circle beats Ruprecht, and it's a power play goal. They're 1 for 1. And you can see why they are ranked second out of 29 teams on the man advantage. Entered tonight's game 27.4% success rate. They now have 23 power play goals. And they take the first goal of game number 2. Rinkobs with that one. assisted by Aiden Carney and Michael Spinner. .9:10 left to go here in period number 1. That should be registered as the 6th shot for the Wranglers, as they were at 5 prior to that goal, so they should be 1 for 6 on Noah Ruprecht. Jacks are 0 for 4 on Max Guchar. It went 5 for 34 on Guchar last night. Wranglers went 4 for 52. Their highest shooting game this season. They also had 27 shots, so most of any period in the second period. And the Wranglers are 15-2 when scoring the game's first goal. They're now 24 goals for, 24 goals against in the first period in terms of scoring production. They entered this weekend in their third period with the fewest goals for as well as the fewest goals against. That certainly has changed after they let in 3 third-period goals yesterday by Hoyard, Kusler, and Kelly. A heavy hit in the corner. Coming away with it are the Wranglers, and a big kick save from Ruprecht. Ramps off the end wall, settled down by the Jacks as Brohan Rinkops is right back out there. Almost getting a shot off was Ayer, and he fires one from the corner, fought off by Guchar. Talley winds and blasts, rebound sitting loose, and unfortunately, Odessa could not get a follow-up shot. And getting hit up high was Manzo from number 7, Aiden Carney, the 6'1", 185-pound left winger. Nothing comes of it, and it's Ahern intercepts it. He'll enter first and is thrown down. Hand is raised from referee David Lilly. Interference, or they're going to actually say holding is the call. And the guilty party will be number 12, Matt Delaney. So now the Jacks a chance to answer back here with their first Jersey Mike man advantage of the evening, as Delaney will head to the box. The Jacks only had 1 power play through 60-plus minutes yesterday. As what's interesting, the Wranglers entered this weekend with the most penalty minutes in the South Division. Holding is the call. From the draw, the Wranglers have it from their own zone. It actually catches good, and it's swept back by Hughes. After DeMarco tried to clear it, it deflected off a piece of equipment from Good, possibly right around the shoulder or head region. Ahern trying to dance around the opposition. He's denied, and it's sent back the other way. 7:40 left to go here in the opening period. 1:30 left on the first power play this evening for Odessa. As they send it into the left corner, chopping at it was Ahern as he collides hard into the boards. Tallene unable to keep it alive for Odessa, so they have to retreat in their own zone. Tallene sends it along to Hughes. He gets around the opposition. Hughes in, back into the slot, and it's cleared by the Wranglers. Ruprecht comes out aggressively to play it. Sends it over to Yates, who will enter first, but had his momentum stopped. And it's cleared out once again by Amarillo. 7 minutes left to go here in the first period. Just 45 seconds left on the man advantage for Odessa. They trail 1-0 after giving up a power play goal to Gleb's Prohorinkovs. Left for Dvorny. A broken stick out on the ice. Michael Spinner without it. Duclair sends it back up top to Perdian. Back down low to Duclair. We'll send it around where that broken stick is. Now it's clearly without a twig as he gave his to Spinner. Keeping it alive is Odessa. Across to the far side for Perdian. Back up to the blue line for Bankier. Bankier to the circle. Across now for Perdian. From this side, and he tries to go top shelf for Guchar. And it will round all the way back out to center ice with 6:10 left to go here in period number 1. Stick tapping is Noah Ruprecht as we go back to 5-a-side hockey. Big battle along the near side boards. Wranglers come away with it. With it is Kufis. He's being watched by Charlie back here. Kufis sends it over and will carry him off of Duclair's skate. A fake shot from Carollo. He sends it below the goal line. Dug out by Duclair. And it's sent right back below the goal line by Amarillo. They send it out in front and trying to go top shelf was Kufis from inside the circle. Scranton's fans want, you don't see that often from the man that leads the league in shots as he catches it right at the blue line. He keeps it alive by sending it deep. Knifing at it was Ruprecht. As he tries to keep play behind his net, they send it up to the blue line. A shot and a redirect in past Ruprecht along the near side. The goal was scored by Ben Beester after a shot came from Oliver Bedzik, the assistant captain for the Wranglers. It is now a 2-0 Wranglers lead here with 5:06 remaining in the first period. They appear to be 2 for 9 on Noah Ruprecht. And the Jacks have trailed by 2 on 2 different occasions in yesterday's game and came back both times, of course, as they won in overtime 5-4. Manzo sends it over. It's dropped back for Finn, and he cannot maneuver his way around Todorov. Clearing his zone is Cleary. Played over to Prohorenkops. He'll flip it to the near side. Hacking at it was Tallene. Kept alive by Sofo. He fires one, caught by Ruprecht. And no rebound to come as Scranton's is mobbed at the crease by Tallene. And a few other Jackalopes. 4:34 left to go here in the first period. 0 goals for the Jacks. 2 for Amarillo. Offensive zone draw for the Wranglers. They win it up top to Sofo. He fires a shot in front that's blocked. Good off to the races. He might have a breakaway. Tries to stick with it. He gets a shot off, but it's saved by Guchar. Almost able to get past Lemuel Varde on the back check, but he stuck with him enough to negate a successful shot off on Max Guchar. Tied up in the near side corner of the Wrangler zone. Coming away with it is Bezic. Again, the Wranglers basically playing with an extra defensive pair as icing is not called. Hand was raised by Noah Ruprecht. Dvorny sends it over to Yates. Yates to good. From the slot backhand and a kick save by Guchar. Bezic with it along the near side boards. He'll send it north to a waiting Price. And he'll leave it for Kufis from the circle, and he overskated the shot. As the Jacks will now gain puck possession. They have it along the near side. Send it cross ice to Orr. Orr will clear their zone, gain the red line, and fire it right towards Max Guchar. 3:30 left to go here in the opening period. Amarillo is up 2-0. That one does not get tipped, so icing is called against the Wranglers. So we'll have an offensive zone draw for the Jacks. They trailing shots 10-6. Offensive zone draw for Odessa on the near side circle towards the glove hand of Max Guchar. Won it back by Logan Cleary. Will round off the glass and back out to the neutral zone where it's flipped forward by Shimizi. Picked off by Odessa as they go D to D, and Orr fires it to the near side. They try to stretch it across, broken up defensively by Amarillo as Ahern was negated on a passing attempt. Orr picks off Shimizi. They lace a pass over to the near side as the Jacks will drape right behind Max Guchar. Trying to chase after it was Ahern. And the Wranglers have it from their own zone. Great pinch play by Tallene. And as he broke it up along the near side boards, Tallene once again. Puck pops loose in the circle. Up top now for Necker, who fires one that hit a body in front. It's swiped towards Guchar, deflects off the left glove of Spinner. But offside are the Jacks as they now turn towards the bench to send all new skaters offensively, and a rocket of a shot will find Price. He gets it deep into enemy territory as Duclair will send it around from corner to corner. Kelly feeds the pass back the other way. Out the Jacks are able to clear it. Past the red stripe, now the blue. Odessa having trouble getting it past Ben Beester. And it's settled down by Charlie Bankier. Who's the defenseman trying to play a little offense right now as his team trails by 2 with 1:45 remaining here in period number 1. They trail in shots 10-7. It's tipped past the red line, but will go below the safety netting, so it will be held against the boards directly below the goal line and towards the right of Guchar. They're still digging away at it. They are able to dig it out back up to the point. It's down low for Duclair, who's having Sofo draped all over him. 2 Wranglers and 2 Jacks in after it. Duclair against Sofo. Prohor and Cops will now join in the fray as they're still knifing away at it. A penalty now called against the Amarillo Wranglers as Duclair appears to be drawing the penalty on that one. It looks like it's going to go against Prohor and Cops. So the Jacks, another power play opportunity here with 68 seconds left in the period. 10-7 are the shots. They trail 2-0. We'll have an offensive zone draw. Cross-checking is the call. 2-minute minor for Gleb's Prohorinkovs, who has one of the 2 Amarillo goals. The Jets' power play so far 0 for 2 this weekend. They win it to the point again. Just 65 seconds left. Tallene has the back pedal from the neutral zone. Tallene sets up behind Ruprecht, who's had 2 go past and 110 shots. And it's flipped diagonally into the corner, chopped back to the blue line, kept alive by Tallene. They'll send it to the circle. Tallene wants it back, doesn't get it. From near to far, they send it. Good with it. Long stretch pass. Deflects off a skate into the wall. Brushed over to Good. He winds it, fires one, catches the outside of the netting as Yates is dumped from behind. Tallene sees that one go well over him, and not even his lengthy height of 6'5" could leap up to catch that one. So the Jacks have one last rush to maybe cut the lead in half, heading into the first period intermission. Just under 10 to play here in the first. They dump it deep. Picking it up now is Bezic, and he'll just pin it up against the boards as the horn will sound. Ending period number 1 of 3 here from the Amarillo Civic Center. For the first time this weekend, the Wranglers take a lead heading into the first period intermission. 2-0 is the score As Crescent is once again in the mix of things with some Jackalope players. As the Wranglers are waiting for the Jacks to exit. Again, you see this across the board. The Jacks do it on their home ice as they want to be the last off. And now the Wranglers will go the other way down their tunnel. Well, the Jacks will start the second period with a 52-second power play opportunity. They'll have some fresh legs to do so. However, they trail 2-0 where it matters, and they're trailing in shots 10-7. Definitely a little shooting affair for both sides. Right now, the Jacks have to battle back like they did twice in yesterday's game. We'll have to see if they have it in them one more time this weekend. Still 40 minutes of regulation hockey to be played here at the Amarillo Civic Center, also known as the Budweiser Bullpen. As prior to the Wranglers coming in to this building, used to hold the Amarillo Bulls for quite some time. I'll be back with the second period of action here from Amarillo, Texas. Wranglers up 2-0 over the Jacks. Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV or on our audio-only YouTube Live channel. Period 2 between the Wranglers and your Odessa Jackalopes. About to get set here from the Amarillo Civic Center in Amarillo, Texas. And I do want to just shout out that the Cowboys are beating the Eagles currently 10-7 with 1:37 left in the first quarter. Now getting back to some hockey, 52 seconds of power play opportunity to start this middle period for the Jacks. They certainly want to come out aggressive as they take the ice now here for the second period. They will be going the opposite way from which they were in the first period, so that will now be right to left from your vantage point on Hockey TV, as the Wranglers will go from left to right here for this middle period. The Wranglers have only lost one game when leading after 20 minutes of play. They are 11-1, and when trailing after the first period, the Jacks are roughly around 500, 4-1. They did come back when trailing after 2 periods yesterday, so that gives them an overall 4-1 record. But of course, they want to be able to tie the game up and, of course, get their first lead off the game. As teams flip ends of the ice here for this second period of action. Goals in the first period were scored by Gleb Prohorenkovs and number 23, Ben Beester. Yeah, the Wranglers, with just about half their roster not returning next season, so this is basically going to be a big push for them, a big playoff push for them in the second half of this season. And I do want to point out for the Jacks, they will not face a team currently entering this weekend. They will not face a team until February 4th when they go up against the Ice Race that are outside of the top 5 in standings, as they go up against the Lone Star Brahmas next weekend, who are currently tied 0-0 in a game that just recently started against the Rhinos. New Mexico's tied 1-1 against Corpus, but they enter this weekend in 6th place out of 8 in the South. And then to conclude January, it's back-to-back weekends against the 5th place Wichita Falls Warriors, as they ended up becoming the victor in yesterday's contest against the Shreveport Mudbugs. So a lot of very tight hockey in the coming month for the Jacks. And it's certainly going to be a test for them. And they are out a few defensemen, as they've had to, of course, call up somewhat the likes of Necker and Berg. Berg not with the team here this evening. Necker reportedly going to be with the team for quite some time. And a shot on the follow-up bounces off of the glove of Gujar all the way over to the side, and a heavy hit from behind will lead to an Amarillo Wrangler penalty. As fortunately getting back to 2 feet and to the bench is J.R. Purdian after he was hit from behind by Todorov. So now the Jacks, which should be a 5-on-3 power play for 23 seconds. We're about 30 seconds gone here in the second period. Boarding minor to Todorov, 2-minute minor for him, number 18 in white. Dvorny, Benkir, Duclair, Purdian, and Hoyer, the 5 skaters out in black and red, a chance to tie the game up if they can capitalize on these power play opportunities. But it starts here on this 5-on-3 on the far side circle. One back by the Wranglers, and they fire. It hits a linesman, and he is stunned as he is hunched over and gingerly making his way out of the Wrangler zone. That is linesman Ewing. Actually, he was not in yesterday's contest. Leaving with it is Benkir. Sends it over to Dvorny. Now to Duclair. Benkir with a blast, and it will bank off the end wall. Now we have a 5-on-4 power play for 90 seconds. Benkir with it. To Duclair, the far side circle. From low to high. Benkir and Dvorny switch. Duclair with it from the circle. He's being watched and pestered. And he gets a pass back up top to Dvorny. Dvorny to the near side circle. Quick touch pass up top to Bankier. They have it. Roll high and a big save by Guchar. Somehow he has it between the wickets off of a slot shot from Dane Hoyer. Looking to the heavens on how he missed that one with 18:38 left to go here in the second period. And 68 seconds left on this third Jersey Mike's man advantage of this game number 2. Could have cut the lead in half and at least given the Jacks some confidence for the remainder of this period. Still time left. 5-on-4 man advantage for the Jacks as Todorov looks on for the next 68 seconds, or what the Jacks hope doesn't last that long. The Wranglers win it. Once again, fire it the other way, this time missing the linesman. As Ruprecht will settle things down for Trevor Talley. Talley snaps it forward for Hughes. Hughes will tuck his shoulder and actually blow out a tire in the corner, and it's cleared out by Amarillo. With now 45 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Talley will exit from the blue line of his own zone to the opposition blue line as he sends it around the yellow trim. Jack's turning right over to the Wranglers. It's knifed and momentarily kept alive. Great move by Ahern from the circle. He doesn't get a pass off. It's sitting loose in the blue paint, and it's dug out by Bezic. Across it's sent. Talley to the circle. Played across for Ahern, and it is picked off by the Wranglers. Bezic once again there to clear the zone. And that will do it for the Jacks man advantage as we go back to 5-on-5 hockey as Mansfield gets a firing shot far side, saved by Guchar, and it's dumped out by Amarillo. 17:15 left to go here in period number 2. Jacks unable to convert on their 5-on-3 power play. It only had 23 seconds on it, as well as their 5-on-4. And offside, unfortunately, go the Jacks as Mansfield was hung up on that near side blue line. Just about 3 minutes elapsed here in the second period. Shots are tied now at 10 apiece. Wranglers still without a shot this period, but we're killing off the last 2 minutes or so to start this period. A neutral zone draw. Furthest from the Jacks bench as the equipment manager for Odessa, Bob Pope, makes his way back to the bench. Might have been fixing something off ice with a piece of equipment that he might need for one of the guys on the bench. The only other way to get to their area is to go through the tunnel on the far side. And played up top, a shot flutters through traffic. It's broken up. That stemmed off a Jack Christian twig. Bezic with it, and he is met by Ryan Kusler. Almost kept alive on the near side by Amarillo. As they kitty corner into the left side as Christian will send it over to Bezier. Kusler and Campbell had a stand-up hit with one another. Orr will collect it behind Ruprecht. And a long stretch pass just missing Bezier. As getting his blade on it was Spinner. They go towards the right of Guchar. It's retrieved by Prohorenkovs and played out the other way. Amarillo with it from the right side. A big kick save from Ruprecht as the puck is chopped over into the corner. Scraston's with it. Turns and whistles one towards Ruprecht, who knelt down to make the save. Scraston's with it again, and it will dribble out from zone to zone as it's rolling on its edge along the near side board. Sending it to the near side was Vardy. Again, the camera is switched on Hockey TV. It's opposite of the broadcast booth that I'm in as a saved by Noah Ruprecht as some players get tangled up with one another. 15:43 left to go here in period number 2 of a 2-0 Wranglers lead. Jacks have too many skaters out there. I don't think they realize that somebody was coming off as Necker goes on. Dvorny comes off. Offensive zone draw for Amarillo. It's 5-on-5 hockey from the ensuing draw. Necker sweeps it over to the far side boards, played out by Perdian, and that one will carry up and out of play for a whistle. Wranglers will look to make a change, as the puck will be dropped directly in front of their bench in a neutral zone manner. Perdian collects it from Duclair's offensive or neutral zone draw win, I should say, as he tries to get it around Kyle DeMarco. He sealed his body up against the boards, and a shot from a long way away. Eaten up by Ruprecht, and no rebound to come. But an ensuing offensive zone draw for the Wranglers with 15:23 left to go here in the period. 12 shots up on the board for the Wranglers. That might be number 13 for them, 10 for Odessa. Again, Jacks are without defense. Connor Kuhn, John Wojciechowski, and Nate Boak. Offensively without William Marshall and Liam O'Hare. Played up but not out. And sending it deep was Strastic. Chasing after it on the far side is Campbell. Or on the near side, I should say. Necker backhands it around to the far side. Swiped at by Tallene. Played across it. They say played with a high stick, so regardless, play continues on as it's lobbed deep by Sofo. Strastic's with it. Punch to the boards on the far side by Ruprecht. And out chasing it now is Sofo. With him is Bezic. After Sofo is Manzo. Ahern intercepts it along the near side boards. He has to hurry. Across now for Hoyer, and his pass across broken up from a body in front. Kicking at it was Devorny. He plays it right back to the red line where Ahern will wait. He'll dangle his way past Cleary, and he'll shovel it deep into the safety netting with 14:22 left to go here in the period. Wranglers now have 86 goals for in their first season here in the NAHL. Of course, Amarillo itself has had quite a long history of hockey. As Good will fire one that's caught in the left mid by Kuchar. We'll just patiently wait for a whistle as he gets one with 14:14 left to go here in the second period. As for the Jets, they have the second most goals in the South Division at 102. They have 84 goals against. They now have 507 penalty minutes entering this matchup, but they did take one early on. That was from Kusler, which the Wranglers capitalized on, so now they have 509. Jacks have it from the blue line. They fire one. Caromed over to the near side corner. Stepping up on the play was Devorny. Tries to pass it across the Yates from the far right circle. And he'll send it down low. Good. Will jab at it. Swept back up top, Devorny. We'll send it down low. Good will let it ride the yellow trim to the far side as Bankier is being watched by three Wranglers players. Coming away with it is Todorov. He's being pestered by Good. He'll slap it off the boards to Yates. Yates held up against the end wall. Three Wranglers and two Jackson after it. 13:30 left to go here in period number 2. It's played to the slot, but no one in black and red was home as the Wranglers go the other way with it along the right wing wall. They fire one well over Ruprecht's net. And a shot from a horizontal angle, fought off by the paddle of Ruprecht, and it will glide back out to the neutral zone where it's played off the near side boards. Bankier backhands it, but the dribbling puck doesn't go out of the zone. And they finally are able to clear it. Yates patiently waits, fires one. That's blocked aside by Guchard. Good. Blindly fires it rink wide. It's picked off by Amarillo. Good intercept by Magier from a low shot. Saved by Guchard. Back up top they send it. Christian across to Orr. Near side circle, and his firing shot reaches just below the safety net, and Kusler unable to settle it, the bouncing rubber. And back out, it's played off the boards on the near side for an icing call against the Wranglers. Now with 12:38 remaining here in period number 2. 2-0 Wranglers lead. 15-12 are the shots. The Jacks are definitely doing a better job of keeping the Wranglers to the perimeter and getting their sticks in the shooting lane and certainly negating a lot of shots. Wranglers have had 5 shots here this period, as have the Jacks. From behind the net, they try to send it back out in front, kept alive by Christian from the far side point. They work its way over to Carollo. Kept alive again, slapped off the boards. Now for Begier, he plays it through the crease and out the other way. Or hacks at it, and will get it back from the red line. Offside are the Wranglers. Or once again fires a quick pass forward. It's tipped briefly by Kusler. And with it are the Wranglers. They feed a pass and score 5-1 at Ruprecht. Aiden Carney with the third Wranglers goal. And the first goal of this period. It is the largest lead for the Wranglers here this weekend. Carney from Scrastins and Joseph Carollo to make it a 3-0 Wranglers lead. And while you do only get 1 timeout per game, because the South Division has this tradition of throwing objects, they actually call it a, I think it's a howdy hat is the correct term for it, but they're little red hats, cowboy hats, for a Wrangler, which is the team's logo and mascot. But you can use this time to actually kind of use it as a timeout, as the game doesn't quickly reset, as it were, if the Jacks scored or when a visiting team scores. Not sure if head coach Scott Dewar has said anything to the gentleman in front of him, minus the 5 that are on the ice now, and are coming off a third Wranglers goal, as it's tipped deep, so icing is waved off against Amarillo. Still a lot of hockey left to be played here in game number 2. Wranglers picked up 1 point yesterday. Jacks picked up the full 2. In a 5-4 overtime victory. That ended 38 seconds in. Thanks to J.R. Purdy, and Finn will flip it towards the outside of Guchar's cage. Purdy tries to keep it alive, could not. As the Wranglers have it on the near side. They fire one right towards the linesman. Icing is waved off as it was tipped right in front of the Wranglers bench. Good stick move by Talley. And so lob it all the way across. Goes off the glove of the opposition. Purdy will twist it back to Duclair, who's negated from Burkle. And now Campbell tries to feed a pass across to Shimizi. That's broken up and cleared out the other way. Icing will be called as Hoyer could not get there in time. About 9 minutes going here in period number 2. 3-0. Amarillo leads. These two teams won't face one another until March 11th and 12th, when the Wranglers make their last trip to the Ector County Coliseum. The final weekend series will be in April. It will be the second to last weekend series of the regular season for Odessa. The second half of the season is going to be a tough one to say the least, especially at that tail end when they see Amarillo and New Mexico for a total of 8 times in the span of the last month or so. Warrior picks it up. He's got Manzo with him on the far side. He gets it almost to Manzo, just past his outreach stick, as he might have had a good chance to tip it past that left leg of Guchar as it shoveled deep. This time by Hoyer. He races the other way to send on new legs, and Justin Hughes. Sent deep from the neutral zone by Spinner. We're with it. Will gain the red line and fire it deep. Picking it up along the near side left corner is Ahern. He's shoved off the puck by Kyle DeMarco. And this play will go the other way on the far side. Played back over to Ahern, who's negated by DeMarco once again. And with it along the right wing wall are the Wranglers. They don't get a shot off as it was a good stick-on puck from Jack Christian. And it's played up and out by Odessa. Yates tries to come away with it right in front of his bench. And unfortunately, the Wranglers corral it. Now the end numbers going the other way. From the near side, circle across, and they're wide open 4x6. For Jalen Price, makes it 4-0 Odessa. Or 4-0 Wranglers, I should say. My apologies. Of course, we would love to see a 4-0 Jacks lead. But tonight, not the case. 9:25 remaining. 4 unanswered goals by the Wranglers. And the mountain to climb before the Jacks is getting not much taller. No Ruprecht still between the pipes for the Jacks. I'm not sure if it's a direct media timeout. We do have 9:25 remaining here in the second period. Again, the largest lead so far for the Wranglers this weekend. We do have some Jacks fans in attendance here this evening. Great to see the support from them, especially with this team on the road. They went 7-4-1 during their 12 straight games on home ice. That started with the Wranglers in that weekend series split. It was an 8-2 victory for the Wranglers in the first meeting between these two teams this season. The Jacks won the following night 5-1. So from the ensuing Jaden Price goal, that made it 4-0 Amarillo. They go D-to-D, far side with it, Tallene. Send it into the corner, Yates. Tries to play it back out in front. Recollecting it is Justin Hughes. He'll leave it for Tallene from the far point. He'll throw it high off the end boards as it caroms over to the near side boards. Good, comes away with it. We'll send it back up to the point. They fire a shot, and it's a goal from the top of the near side point. I don't think it got tipped. They were waiting to see if it was, and no, it's going to be Ty Necker's first NHL goal. And what a snipe from the top of the left point. He gets the Jacks' first goal. And flipping the puck over to Bob Pope was Trevor Tallene. That's got to give this Jacks team some major confidence with 8:55 remaining here in the second period as they now trail 4-1. Ty Necker, his first NHL goal and just his third NHL game. Came up from the Jacks NA3 affiliate, the Texas Roadrunners. And it looked for a second that it had been tipped out in front with Yates having that net front presence. Duclair stretches it across now up top. The Jacks have it. They play it out for a low shot that's fought off. Dancing with it down low is Duclair. As he knifes it over to the near boards. Todorov with it. Strastis Quickly touches it over to Carney. He'll feed Pro Horinkops, who's negated on a shooting opportunity as Duclair's with it. And we'll send it cross ice. No one was home in black and red. And the Wranglers look to re-enter as they do so offside with 8:06 remaining here in the second period. 18 shots for Amarillo, 13 for Odessa. They trail 4-1. Covering it up at the top of the crease was Noah Ruprecht. So we'll have the Wranglers' offensive zone draw towards his left, our right. With it down low is Price. He has it on the far side. We'll lose it to Jack Christian. Bezier with it. Sends that high right over towards the Jack's bench. It actually caught a piece of it. The rafters are so high here, there was no chance that was going to catch the ceiling. However, it caught a piece of equipment from a Jack's player, so they will actually bring the puck back down into Odessa's zone from where Bezier had flung it from. 4-1 Wranglers lead. Lone goal from Odessa, scored by Ty Necker. And a broken stick from Scrastons off a shot from the right circle. Leads the Jacks to surge the other way with it. From Orr to Bezier, tip pass deep, far side, or near side with it, going to the far side for Hoyer. He tries to get around Pro Horinkops. Uses an edge in the near side corner. And it's played from left to right. Stepping up on the play is Tallene. Manzo from the right circle. Tallene sweeps it down low from Mansfield. And now numbers going the other way as Tallene late to get back. Pro Horinkops fires in a huge left-handed save from Noah Ruprecht. Absolutely robbing the Riga Latvia native. He already has one here this evening. And it was a power play goal. And we'll say this, a power play goal for Amarillo. They, again, are one of the best teams to do it when up a man. They also had an auto-man rush and basically deposited the frozen rubber into a wide-open 4x6. And they also had a 5-hole goal. Beating out Ruprecht. So the Jacks are still in this. They aren't being fully dominated. The shots are 20-13 in favor of Amarillo. Score is 4-1 Wranglers. The Wranglers have just capitalized on some holes that were presented to them by Odessa defensively as Manzo quickly will touch it the other way. And now numbers for the Jacks that they can hurry. Near side with it. They tried to send it back to Bankier in the slot. And he was met with heavy traffic. Jacks getting that pivotal goal here in this period. Giving them hopefully some confidence going forward as sending it deep as Jaden Price. Bankier gets hit from behind. And quickly hopping off was Ben Oakland. And remained down from Lilly. As the Wranglers have it along the right wing wall. They'll drift their way around from near to far on the stick of Cleary. He tried to send it to Bizik. It is now worked below the goal line. Directly behind Ruprecht. It pops loose and a shot. Sticked aside by Ruprecht. It was a low one. It's twisted back up to the blue line and out. And almost settling it down was Ahern. He actually overskated it. It was about a stride ahead as he flutters that one right to the blocker hand of Kuchar. And that one sails up and over the glass into the stands. Everybody appears to be okay. So we have a halt to play with 5:48 remaining here in period number 2. 2 goals this period for the Wranglers, 1 for Odessa. Neutral zone draw, near side circle. Furthest from Odessa's bench. From the draw, one back by the Jacks. From the red stripe, sending it hard off the stanchion was Christian. Karen awkwardly back to the slot. As Pro Hurricanes is jostling for the frozen rubber, and Odessa fires one that's sticked aside by Guchar. And will roll back towards him. He pokes it to the wall. Wranglers all after it on the near side. Strastins will touch it behind him to Pro Hurricanes. The Latvians connect on a pass and a clearing attempt that's eventually worked its way over to Carney, as that one also will redirect up and out of play once again, this time with 5:14 left to go here in period number 2. Ty Necker's first NAHL goal, the lone one so far for Odessa. Corpus Christi Ice Rays up 4-1 over the Ice Wolves. 8:30 left to go in the second. Warriors and Mudbugs tied at 0 as they are over 5 minutes gone in the second period, and the Brahmas are up 1-0 after the first over the Rhinos. They send it to Purdy, back across, but a sprawling toe save from the captain, Michael Spinner, and now the Wranglers race the other way. Top of the circle, and trying to send it to Price, rink wide, and it deflects off his tape. Purdy didn't shoot from that far side circle, and it deflected off the skate of Spinner, who sprawled out, sensing a back pass again. And he was correct. 4:35 remains here in period number 2. Shots have still been held 20-14 for quite some time. Purdy tries to chase after it, and it's sent past him by Sofo. Stepping up on the play is Ahern. Ahern tries to play back out in front, broken up by Spinner once again. Spinner pins it up against the boards. Duclair will send on Hoyer. Spinner jostles it loose. We'll shovel it over to the near side boards where Devorny will come up and throw his body weight around on TJ Kufis. And it's played out from zone to zone. Manzo will pancake the frozen rubber. And unfortunately going offside as Hoyer was just a step ahead of the play. Manzo, again, one of the faster Jackalopes players, was racing down that left wing wall. Just over 16 minutes gone here in this second period. Jacks avoid the shutout, but still hungry for 2 points for a potential tie for first place if the score holds between the Ice Rays and the Ice Wolves. Again, Corpus currently up 4-1 over the best team right now in the South Division. After it now is Jack Christian. We'll touch it back for Orr as he brushes it to the half wall. Twirling it deep was Logan Cleary. As Oakland will have it pinned up against the boards. It will dribble back up to the blue line. Bizik to the near side. A winding blast and a play out in front from far to near is negated, and a long saucer pass will hit the tape of Hoyer. Hoyer trying to feed a waiting Manzo. Unable to get a shot off. Shimizi was offside, and the Wranglers will make some changes on the fly. That one will find the paddle of Guchar, so no icing against Odessa. And now with the switch in play, the Wranglers trying to catch the Jacks on a change, and a big shrugging save from Ruprecht off the stick of Aiden Carney. From the circle, that one caroms up and over to the end wall. Sending it around was Kusler. Mansfield with it from the near side. Plays it to open ice on the far side. They say it's onside for Amarillo, and Straston's pass attempt over to Carney broken up by Kusler. Tallene with it. Finds Kusler. Quickly touches it to Bezier. Tallene turns, fires it deep. 2:20 left to go here in the second period. As it's sent to the tape of Pro Hurricanes. He got the first Wranglers goal back in the first period. They have Good. Not seeing him was Yates. Good picks it up. Left circle across to Yates, and that sauce pass does not connect between 22 and 9. Too much air underneath of it. It was also a pretty hard hand-eye coordination play for Yates to try to make. Price from right in front of the Jacks penalty box. Settled down by Bankier. He'll send it forward. Attempt for Hughes. Hughes collects it back from the blue line. Over to Orr. A lot of real estate. Far side circle. Back. Toe drag. Moving! Somehow between the skates, Yates had it. And he lost sight of the frozen rubber. Didn't get a clean shot off on that near side. Bezic gets a stick up high on Hughes. And that will be a high stick call against the Wranglers for a Jacks power play opportunity with 1:23 left in the period. No blood on Hughes, so just a 2-minute minor high sticking call against the assistant captain, the Michigan Tech University commit from Delray Beach, Florida, Oliver Bezic. 22 shots for the Wranglers, 15 for Odessa. Much different than how yesterday's second period ended, as it was 37-22 in shots in favor of the Wranglers, who had a 27-shot second period, a season-high shooting period. It's fired up to the blue line. Ricochets off the boot of Bankier as he keeps it alive, and he'll lob it over to the far side boards. Sent deep by Hoyer. Duclair decked from behind. And Bankier steps up on the play, keeps it alive. Hoyer picks it up, sends it across, near side circle for the Jacks. And they opt not to shoot as they try to stick handle with it on the left circle. They fire one, backs off the end boards, sent back the other way, dribbles right in front of Guchar, and opts not to come out to play it. As Duclair having trouble maintaining his edge work. And as they send it all the way up top to Tallene, he turned it right over, and Wranglers not on the same page as they gift wrap a pass right back to Odessa. They could have broke out on an on-man rush. 30 seconds left to go in the period. 65 seconds left of power play hockey. Ahern takes a look up at the scoreboard, feeds it to Yates along the far side circle. Yates pivots, gets around one, passes it over to Hughes. 15 seconds left to go in the period. Up top to Tallene. Across now for Ahern. Far side circle. Ahern out in front from the slot. A shot. Blocked down the front. Good again. He swipes at it. Big save by Guchar. Puck is still loose. One back. Shovel backhand. And played to the corner. 3 seconds left. Ahern fires one caught by Guchar. And he'll throw it to the boards to get the horn. And mayhem down low in the final seconds of this period from the Jacks. Hopefully that can give them something to build on heading into the final period of regulation, where they will have a 37-second power play to start things off with. They trail 4-1 on the score sheet. They might tack on a few extra shots for the Jacks during that mayhem that was in front of Guchar, but right now it reads 22-16. So a 12-shot period by the Wranglers and a 9-shot period by the Jacks, unless they add a few more. So, a little shooting affair, but the Wranglers are capitalizing where it matters, and that's on the scoreboard as they take a 3-goal lead heading into the third and final period here from the Amarillo Civic Center in game number 2 of this first road trip of 2022 for your Odessa Jackalopes. I'll be back with the final period of action here from the Amarillo Civic Center. Stay tuned on Hockey TV or on our audio-only YouTube live feed. Again, Wranglers up 4-1. Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody listening on Hockey TV as well as our audio-only YouTube Live channel as we gear up for the final 20 minutes of regulation play here from the Amarillo Civic Center, home of the Amarillo Wranglers. And not too long ago, the Amarillo Bulls used to be here. They have relocated to become the North Iowa Bulls. The Topeka Pilots out of Topeka, Kansas, used to be in this league. They were then sold to become the Kansas City Scouts, and then the Scouts never ended up playing, and Amarillo, of course, wanted to maintain hockey here in West Texas. And they, well, with the help of the community, managed to get the Amarillo Wranglers here and purchase them from the Scouts. Basically rebrand. Right now the Cowboys are beating the Eagles 23-17 with just under 30 seconds left in the first half. And taking a look around the North American Hockey League, Ice Rays up over the Ice Wolves 4-1 after 2 periods of play. Of course, the Wranglers are up 4-1 over the Jackalopes after 2 periods as well. The Warriors and the Mudbugs just about to head into their own second period intermission, locked at a 0-0 tie. And the Brahmas only up 1-0 over the Wranglers with about 13:30 left in the second period. Again, a difficult second half to the season as compared to the first. The Jacks won't face off against the Rhinos in the second half of the year. And they'll also, in the month of February, only play Lone Star and Corpus, 2 teams that they have struggled against in the first half of the season. In the 3-3 on home opening weekend for Odessa, they only won 1 game against Lone Star, and it was on that final game number 3. And then when they hosted El Paso for a 3-3 at the start of December, they only won on game number 3. In February, back-to-back 3-3 series. And in between that, they'll have the Top Prospects Tournament in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we might have some Jackalopes get selected. Usually, again, the games are played. It's kind of like an all-star game if you're unfamiliar with it, but it's mainly for players that aren't committed yet, and it's their last chance to get looked at by scouts across D1 and D3 hockey schools. And usually it's players that are in their age-out year, but you also will see some guys who are already committed and some guys that are kind of just tearing it up here this regular season. I'm sure Kristaps Skrastins, who was on fire at the NHL Showcase back to start off the season, and again was one of the top 10 scorers in the league, leading the Wranglers in points and goals as well as even power play goals across the league. I'm sure his name will be thrown in that hat. But it was his last season as well as his Riga, Latvia native offensive partner, Glebs Prohorenkovs. So the Wranglers, this is, you know what's at stake. And they certainly do have a good team under head coach Harry Mahood. It's a team that's most likely going to consistently be among the top 4 teams of the South Division, battling for a playoff spot. Again, 4 teams from each division, the top 4, will advance to the playoffs. The Jacks right now hold sole possession of second place with 40 points. 2 points behind them are the Wranglers and the Brahmas, so they're both tied for third. Again, the Jacks, even entering this weekend, cannot drop out of 4th place. My mindset, of course, entering this playoff push, I know there's still 29 games. This is game number 32, so 28 after this. But generally, when you get closer to the 15 or 10 left, you certainly want to at least be picking up wins against teams that are outside of a playoff position, because you'd much rather possibly lose points to somebody that's already in a playoff spot versus giving points to somebody that could potentially get their way up into a playoff spot and knock you out. So these games against Amarillo, while they are very competitive and very talented on both sides of the ice, these two teams are possibly destined to see one another come playoff time, so this is a good match for both sides to really see what the other has as we get started for the third period of play as the Jacks win the first draw of this period. They trail 4-1. They have 30 seconds of power play time that carried over after Bezic minor from the second period. And a shot far off from the traffic. Swept back up top. Tallene will keep it alive. He'll put some air underneath of it. Sends it to good. Now down low. A pass blocked by Spinner again. He's had 3 blocked shots and important ones here already this game, and Strassens comes away with it. He scored the only shorthanded goal the Jacks have allowed this season. It was in that game number 1. This is game number 4 of 8 between these two teams. Next meeting not until the middle of March. Yeah, within the last month or so, the Jacks will face the Wranglers and the Ice Wolves a combined 8 times. So a lot of points and really good competition still to be had throughout the second half of the Jacks season. Now Sofa will send it deep to Devorny. Over a minute gone here in period number 3. Along the near side with it and pirouetting the other way is Charlie Bankier. Charlie Bankier from Oakville, Ontario, Canada. With some help, they get it deep after a redirect, so icing is waved off. Bezic whips it around. Almost keeping it alive was Kusler, who had a multi-goal game yesterday, his first of his NAHL career, and just very humble, talked about the team afterwards and just how well they were clicking, especially coming back twice and forcing overtime to eventually pick up 2 points. The Wranglers hoping to pick up 3 of 4 points if they hold on to this lead when the final horn sounds in 18 minutes. And as Jack Christian's in after it on the near side corner. And it's played out by the Jacks. Hand is raised. The puck will dribble down for an icing call against the Jacks. 23 shots for the Wranglers, 16 on the board for Odessa. The lone goal scorer for Odessa is Ty Necker. Came up from the Jacks and a 3HL team, the Texas Roadrunners. And the shot was from the top of the left point back in the second period that just sailed right past Max Kuchar. Again, he is one of also the better netminders in the NAHL. Second overall, wins with 16. Right behind him entering this weekend was Alex Proctor, who did not finish the game due to cramping up. And the win goes to Noah Ruprecht. That became his 6th NAHL win and his 4th of the season as Strassens carries it across the red line. He's stripped of the puck momentarily by Mansfield, but is able to recollect it and launch it deep. And as Ruprecht comes out to play it, no trapezoid behind the goaltender's nets here in the NAHL, as there is in professional hockey, as a fired shot from the left circle fought off by Ruprecht, so it allows goalies to be able to maneuver freely behind their own net. As you saw Ruprecht moments ago playing from an area that certainly would have been outside of that range. 3 minutes gone here in the third period. It's kicked along the yellow trim. Necker comes up the plate, fires it off the right pad of Kuchar, and it's tipped over to the left corner. Held at the boards by Shimizi. Broken loose to Cleary. And slapped back to Shimizi. Top of the right circle. Firing shot. Fought off by Ruprecht. Sitting loose in the hash marks. And a shot once again will find the blocker of Ruprecht. That time, however, it was off the stick of Ben Oakland. Ahern with it. Ahern tries to send it across. And it carries behind the net of Kuchar from low to high. Swept over to Devorny. Below the blue line, they fire one that sails wide of Kuchar. That was Beijir trying to play it. As Ahern comes away with it, gets around Todorov. Ahern from the left circle. He has his shot poke checked away from him by Todorov. And now Kufis with it. Kufis tries to maneuver his way past the opposition. Ahern touches it between his legs for Beijir. Puck will slide over to the near side or far side boards. Again, Hockey TV's camera opposite from the broadcast booth. Here in the Amarillo Civic Center, only South Division arena to have that kind of setup. They've had it for quite some time. 15:35 left to go here in period number 3. A quick chip play from Good over to Riley Yates. And as he falls down on 2 knees trying to get it around Joseph Carollo. Picked up by Bezic. And intercepting it from the slot and playing it out was Jaden Price. He had the last goal for the Wranglers back in the second period. Back-to-back periods for Amarillo with 2 goals and a firing shot from Orr as he fanned on it. And somehow I thought that rolled past the goal line. Referee would appear to be in good position. No signal as play continues on. Jack celebrated. Sprawling backwards and laying down on his back was Guchar as it was dangerously deep in his crease. Warrior will brush it back into the right corner. There's still a lot of hockey left to be played with 14:40 on the clock. If the Jacks can pull within 2 within the next few minutes, might have some good confidence and momentum going forward. Again, they've come back from 2 separate 2-goal differentials yesterday. At one point, they were trailing 4-0 here this evening. Going against 3 Wranglers players was J.R. Purdy. He coughed the puck up to him. As it's thrown off the boards, now onto the stick of Shimizi. From the left circle, he fires one, ramps off the stick of Ruprecht and to the boards. Played rink wide to the near side. Slapped across to Duclair. Caught up in sticks and equipment along the near side boards, and with it is Oakland. He stretches it to the far side to Shimizi, who flips it caddy corner into the left wall. As Purdy will come away with it. We'll throw it off the plexiglass, and racing after it is Duclair. Icing is waved off. Todorov will get to it first. 13:35 left to go here in the period. Finn with it. Trying to get a pass off to Manzo. It was picked off by Cleary as he spins away from Manzo, and he'll just drift it deep into enemy territory. As Ruprecht tried to play it across dangerously, and luckily it was played back out to center ice. As the Jacks play catch with it from their own zone. Ruprecht has his paddle broken in half. Ruprecht without a stick in his own zone. Very rarely do you see that happen. Much stronger than what offensive and defensive players use. But Ruprecht without a stick as he catches that one for the whistle. 12:56 left to go here in the third and final period of game number 2 as Evan Orr will bring him a replacement paddle. 27 shots for the Wranglers, 19 for the Jackalopes. When trailing after 2, the Jacks are 4-8-1. They trailed after 2 yesterday and were able to come back with 3 goals in the third period. They're going to need 3 more to tie things up. With just over 7 minutes elapsed. The Wranglers lost for the first time when leading after 2 periods. They have a 15-0-1 record. They're also 15-2 when scoring the game's first goal. Drop back pass and almost toe dragging was Hoyer. He was upended, looked directly at Willie, and the hand remained down. Begier will send it back to the defensive unit of Evan Orr. Orr fires it right off the tape of Begier as new legs come on the ice for black and red skaters. It's redirected deep. Ruprecht with a new stick. That's a knife it twice over to the near side boards. Trevor Tallene pivots. He's watched by Logan Cleary. 8 minutes gone here in the final period. Odessa's able to tip it, so icing is waved off. Shimizi along the far side boards. Kept alive by Yates, right in front of the Wranglers bench. It's poke checked by Good, but played out. It looks like it might have touched a piece of equipment from the Wranglers bench, so that puck will be dropped at a neutral zone dot right in front of Amarillo's bench. Furthest from the broadcast perspective on Hockey TV. Manzo to take it. Up against him is Ben Biester for this neutral zone draw. One back by Manzo. D to D near side. Tallene from the red stripe. He'll lop it into the right corner. Fired around the yellow trim. And it is played out to the neutral zone. Biester with it. Far right circle. He fires one. Saved by Ruprecht. Picked right back up by Biester. Twisted over to Kufis. Kufis weaves his way over to the slot. It's broken up by Manzo and flipped the other way by Mansfield as he tries to dig away at the first rubber from the right corner. Picking it up is Biester. Fired from the blue line, in and out of the glove. Picked up in top shelf goal for the Jets as they cut the lead in half. It's now 4-2. This time it's Ryan Mansfield. 9 minutes gone here in period number 3. Mansfield notches his 6th NHL goal. And he gets his first, dating all the way back a few weeks ago. When he had that multi-goal game against New Mexico on December 10th. What a snipe from Ryan Mansfield. Popping bottles to make it a 4-2 Wranglers lead. Play back out in front and a left kick save from Gouchard as Devorny will launch it deep and off the end boards. Duclair pirouettes the other way, being hassled by Bezic. He tries a wraparound, covered up by Gouchard for the whistle. And immediate timeout to come with 10:37 remaining in regulation. And there's now 2 unanswered goals from Odessa. Media timeout, allowing head coach Scott Dewar to talk things over with his squad. And it also allows both sides to catch their breath here for another tight contest in this final period of regulation. Jacks now pull within 2 of the home team Amarillo Wranglers, who are 2 points behind them in the standings, tied with the Brahmas for 3rd place. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks, far side circle towards the blocker hand, his right now or left. One to the boards, Begier to Ahern. A lob it deep for Hoyer. And a roll right off his tape and is picked up by Carney. Kept alive by Ahern, almost at the blue line as having trouble on the back pedal was Christian, and shoveling towards Ruprecht was Grastins. Puck is picked up at the boards on the far side. A shot from DeMarco. Will sail wide and it will trickle over to the near side boards where it's slapped around. So a lot of open ice on the far side for Ahern, who tries to pitchfork it out of his own zone. Still trying to clear are the Jacks. Having trouble handling that was Ahern, and playing it out for them were the Wranglers as Pro Horinkops will slide it to the near side. Spinner Head fakes and fires it north off the stick of Scrastons, who heads right to the bench for new legs. 9:40 left to go here in the third. 4-2 Wranglers lead, but 2 straight goals from the Jacks. Sent back up top. Necker has his first NAHL goal. He's able to get there on the back check. As he whacks the puck right off of Shimizi's stick. That dribbles right towards him as, once again, steps up on the play to keep it away from Ruprecht. Puck is held along the near side boards. One loose by Odessa. Flipping it deep and chasing after it himself is Hughes. It's along the near side boards for Yates. Settled down by Logan Cleary with under 9 to play here in the third. Wranglers with a 4-2 lead. They lost yesterday in overtime, 5-4. They are in no rush. And as the goals favor them, good. Trying to apply some pressure. A long stretch pass and looking maybe for a breakaway was Kufis. He was heavily watched by Necker as they find each other against the end wall. A shot out in front that was tipped by Kufis will sail to the boards and away from Ruprecht as Necker will launch it to the near side wall. It dribbles back out to center ice as Kufis sends it up for Price. Tallinn will retrieve it. Sweeps it around the yellow trim for Finn. And we'll find a forward pass to Manzo as they unfortunately go in offside. 8:08 left to go here in the third. 30 shots for Amarillo, 23 for Odessa. The score is 4-2. From the neutral zone draw, winning it back for the Wranglers. DeMarco fires it right over to Devorny. Broken up at the red line. Jack centers successfully. Whacking on is Kusler. Playing it forward was Perdian, and Duclair comes away with it. Below the left circle. He sends it back up top. Across a play-in and a rifled shot. Elevated up and over Guchar's net as it's played over to Devorny from the red line. He sends it into the right corner. And Devorny repicks it up, sends it near side. They're trying to quickly send it back to Duclair. It's broken up, and chasing after it is Kelly. Kelly finds Devorny. Devorny sends it cross ice to Perdian. He's having trouble playing it right by the referee as Shimizi will gain a hold of it and send it below the goal line in the Jack zone. 7:10 left to go here in regulation. Cleary fires one up and over Ruprecht's net. Far near side for Purdy. He fires one all the way down and hits Guchar as Todorov will pick it up. His drop back pass is intercepted and almost played right to a waning Dane Hoyer down in front, and Bankir will retrieve it from his own zone as the Jacks were offside. D-to-D, far side for the Wranglers as Todorov from Kufis had that intercepted by Ori, played it over. Jacks have it low. They send it to the circle, and it's broken up. Bankir with it across it and rolls right off the tape of Hoyer's stick. He was all alone in that left circle. He gets it now. He fires a low shot, saved and covered up by Guchar. 6:21 left to go here in the period of a 4-2 Wranglers lead. Offensive zone draw for the Jacks. The Wranglers win it to the boards, and they sail it out from zone to zone. Certainly keep an eye on Ruprecht throughout the next few minutes to see if head coach Scott Doerr will pull him at all. The Jacks are at one side as they flip it deep into enemy territory. Ward backhands that one aggressively below the goal line. Chasing after it and getting a hold of it is Bezic. He plays it up and not out as Hughes keeps it alive. Top of the right point. Attendance is registered at 2,214. certainly much larger than it was yesterday. As that one kicks off the skate, Jacks are onside. They have it along the near side boards. Hughes battling with Bezic. One loose. Yates turns him, tries to go far side on Guchar, and it whistles wide. Yates wants it. Gets a pass down low, but it was too hot for him to handle as he tried to pick up the loose puck off a redirect from the corner boards. It's lobbed back out into the Jack zone where Jack Christian now will play it to the near side boards for Tallene. He will flip it off the boards. I'll put it out in front of that one from Mansfield. Goes through the blue paint and out the other way. Guchar stumbled going backwards. And this could have been a 4-3 game. Price with it. Sends it back up top to Doroff. Now down low for Kufis. He dances right behind Ruprecht's net. Under 5 to play here in the third. 4-2, Wranglers lead. They send it over to Price, and his high-rising shot will elevate into the safety netting for a halt to play. Shots for the Wranglers, 25 for the Jacks. Again, this at one point was a 4-0 game. Wranglers had a power play goal. They basically had a 2-on-1 goal and a 5-hole goal on Ruprecht. The Jacks have battled back. They got Necker to score his first NHL goal after a blast from the top of the left point back in the second period. And Mansfield went top shelf on Guchar as he's popping bottles. Purdy tried to play it across. He fires a shot that's sticked aside to the end wall by Guchar. Duclair tried to play it out in front, negated by Guchar himself. And we're unable to keep it alive at the blue line. He has to retreat to center ice from the neutral zone or whips it deep. Ruprecht still between the pipes for Odessa. He came in to replace Proctor yesterday. He got the win. Both him and Proctor made 24 saves. 3 goals, 1 against Ruprecht, 1 against Proctor, but also the one that went against him. He was hurt on the play. And that's coming right from the board battle with it was Bezic. They clear it deep. Hand is raised for icing. And that will be called as the Wranglers might try to sneak some players onto the ice. Officials have to be cautious of that to keep some tired legs out there in white and blue jerseys. So draw in the right circle of the Wranglers zone for the Jacks to the glove side of Max Guchar. We have a timeout. Timeout Amarillo with 3:47 left to go in the third period. Shots separated by 5 in favor of the Wranglers. They have 30. They lead where it matters, however, 4-2 on the score sheet. The season series currently in favor of the Jacks, 2-1 on their side. However, the Wranglers are 1-1 against the Jacks because they lost in overtime yesterday, 5-4. A much different weekend series between these two teams as compared to the first time these two teams met. Again, it was an 8-2 victory for the Wranglers on game number 1 of 8 for a season series, and then the Jacks bounced back tremendously with a 5-1 victory in game number 2. So large margins of victory both ways during that first weekend series, as Tallene will glove it down to the ice on the near side, played right to Scrastons. The leading scorer, the University of New Hampshire commit, and the first Wranglers commit in their franchise's history. Sends it down low below the goal line. Tallene picks it up and plays it the other way. At the top of his crease is Ruprecht. might look to follow his team north. They've had trouble clearing from their own zone as they send it from far and near. Off the end boards. Devorny with it. Gets a second opportunity to clear it once more. And they'll leave it for Trevor Talley. 3:10 left to go here in the third. Well, Ruprecht still not leaving. Not called on by head coach Scott Dewar as the puck is deep into the Wrangler zone. They said that did not touch the safety net behind Guchar as play continues on. Ruprecht practically between the circles the opposite way. Still battling Tallene, and Strassen's now tangled up. Ahern gets involved. Tallene and Strassen's going after one another with 2:45 left to go here in the game. Right in front of the Wranglers bench. I had gotten word from yesterday's game between Strassens and Orr. Not from Strassens himself, of course, but what transpired was Orr took a elbow to the face from Strassens that was not called. And that was why he retaliated and wanted to fight Strassens. Kristaps, of course, the top guy for the Wranglers. The Riga Lafayette native being told to go into the box, delaying as long as he can. As Tallene sits in the opposite box, they exchange words. Possibly English, maybe not. But of course, Strassens would convert on that power play that Evan Orr took after that 2-minute minor on sportsmanlike conduct. Right to the end of that second period, Strassen scored with 1.5 seconds left. And we'll see if Tallene and Strassens will be shown the locker room for an early exit as the penalty box for Tallene is open right now. And Tallene is escorted off by linesman Henrich. A roar of applause. From the Wranglers fans. Strassen still remains in the box for Amarillo. 2:45 remains. Strassen's with a 2-minute penalty up on the clock. More might be coming to Trevor Tallene. We'll see what comes out of this. 2:45 remaining in regulation. Tallene, the larger in that battle, 6'5" compared to Strassen, who's listed at 5'11". They give Strassen a roughing minor call. We'll see what the verdict is on Trevor Tallene. He gets a 5-minute major. Most likely the game misconduct to boot. You technically will get a game suspension if you fight with under 5 minutes left in the third period. He grabbed his mask, he gets a 5-minute major. So a 5-minute major up on the board for Trevor Tallene for grabbing his mask. Or I guess grabbing the helmet area of Strassen's. It never was removed as far as I can tell. Of course, it happened in front of him. You had a better view of it on your end on Hockey TV. The broadcast booth is directly behind the benches as Shimizi comes away with it. So it is 4-on-4 hockey here for at least 2 minutes. There's 2:35 remaining in regulation, and Ruprecht to the bench. So 5-on-4, and offside is called as Duclair bobbled it crossing the blue line. Ruprecht unable to get to the bench. You got a game misconduct and a 5-minute major for grabbing the face mask of Kristaps Strassens as they were tangled up with one another again right in front of the Wranglers bench. Ahern was also in the mix of things, but he smartly skated right towards the bench after he realized it was just a Tallene and Strassens battle. Ruprecht most likely following his team up the ice once they can get it there. Devorny through the red line, now the blue. Ruprecht to the bench. Will send on Mansfield. on the near side. It's 5-on-4. However, they're unable to keep it alive. Manzo had that one go right underneath his stick as he sends a pass to the far side for Kelly. He had a goal in yesterday's game for the Jacks as they send it right to Kelly along the half wall. On the far side, still play is broken up. Slapped back up top to Orr. Orr fakes on it, sends it to the right circle. And trying to stretch it across Orr, now to Duclair. Left circle, back up top to Orr. A press and a firing shot! He scores! Evan Orr puts the Jacks within one. As there is just 100 seconds left in regulation. 3 straight now for Odessa. And what a rocket from the point. The Jacks with Noah Ruprecht out of the net, 200 feet the other way. They finally convert on that extra attacker opportunity. Even though it was 4-on-4, it became a 5-on-4, practically a power play for Odessa. Assisted by Chris Duclair. As we go back to 4-on-4 hockey. Jacks trying to keep it alive. Ruprecht still in the net. Under a minute 30 left to go here in the third. 40 seconds left of this 4-on-4 hockey. Ruprecht now to the bench once again. They send on Ahern. Now to Good. From the slot to Hughes. Right circle. Jacks have it. They fire one. Hit bodies in front. And it's broken up. Swept back up top. They fire a low shot. That's far off. It caromed over to the far side boards. Jacks trying to dig away at it. And pass it back up top to a waiting Good, who pinches up on the plate. Wranglers come away with it. Net is empty for the Jacks. And they knock it loose to Evan Orr, who sifts it off the near side boards. Jacks are onside and have Yates down. Oh, he brushes it right off the leg pad of Max Kuchar. The score is 4-3 as that one bounces right past the stick of Good. 4 straight goals by the Wranglers. 3 straight by Odessa as they play that one out from zone to zone. Orr back to retrieve it. It's now 5-on-5. Even though technically right now, the Wranglers are on a power play. Levs Prohorinkovs is offside. They fire one into the back of the net from Todorov from the Wranglers blue line, and that will basically put the nail in the coffin with 19.7 seconds left in the third period. And it's a major penalty. So they can score as many times as they want, but it was an empty net goal. And the score reads now 5-3. Thought for sure the comeback was going to happen again. As they certainly were having that wave of momentum in their favor. But it is hard to, of course, deflect, or at least negate all those shots that can come whenever the puck touches the stick of the opposition. When there's an empty net, they are looking to fire it because they don't mind the icing if they can tackle that extra goal to basically seal the deal. And it looks like the Wranglers will pick up 3 of 4 points this weekend, where the Jacks will have a split weekend series and pick up 2 of 4. And they will be tied with the Wranglers in points with 40, unless there is a miracle here with under 20 seconds left in regulation. Again, these two teams won't meet until March 11th and 12th at the Jack Shack. Away with it are the Jacks. They whip it around, and it's fought off by Kuchar as he leaps out to make the save. They will glide back out to the neutral zone, and that will do it as we're pushing and shoving along the near side among some skaters. As the horn was sounding, it was between Bankir and couldn't quite catch the number. It might have been number 24, possibly. Lemuel Vardy. The Jacks fall to the Wranglers 5-3 with that last one coming via empty net. They leave Amarillo, Texas with 2 of 4 points. They give the Wranglers, however, 3 of 4. Now they're tied in points at 40 apiece. The Jacks now have a 19-11 1-1 record. They have their 2-game win streak snapped as the Wranglers earn their 19th victory of the season. They go to 40 points, and they have their 5-game losing streak snapped, and they are back in the win column for the first time in quite some time. Well, we'll be back on the road next weekend in Bravo Land in North Richland Hills, Texas, as the Jackalopes go up against the Lone Star Brahmas. As I take a quick look at their score, Ice Rays up 5-1 over the Ice Wolves with 6 minutes left in the third, so that bodes well for the Jacks going forward, knowing that they're still going to be within 2 points of first place New Mexico. Wichita Falls up 1-0 over Shreveport, under 10 to play there in regulation. And the Brahmas, after 2 periods of play, are up 3-2 over the Rhinos, so a close game maybe to keep your eye on if you are not tired yet. Here from all this hockey action across the NAHL, and just a quick update on the score. 30-20 Cowboys lead with under 6 to play in the third quarter. Well, we'll see you next weekend in Lone Star, as again the Jacks face off against the Brahmas. Another matchup of 2 teams seated currently in a playoff spot in the South Division. Thanks for tuning in this weekend. Jacks pick up 2 of 4 points. They go to 19-11, 1-1. They have 40 points on this season. They have their 2-game win streak snapped, but they will be tied for second right now, possibly a 3-way tie heading into next weekend's matchup with Lone Star Brahmas, who, if they edge out the Rhinos, they will also be at 40 points. And the Ice Wolves, if they are unable to mount a 5-goal comeback with 5 minutes left in the third, they will be at 42 points. So a very tight race for the top 4 teams out of the South Division. Just goes to show how difficult this South Division is and how talented it is as well across the board. Again, thank you for tuning in on Hockey TV or on our audio-only YouTube Live channel. We'll see you next weekend in North Richland Hills. Have a good night, everybody. Go Jacks, go.